Blooming is the theory that you should pour a small amount of water over the coffee in the start of the brew to let out any CO2 from the roasting process. This should make the coffee easier to extract later in the brew. The roasting degree of your coffee has a huge impact on how and if you should even bloom your coffee. If you brew lightly roasted coffee, there's a lot less CO2 trapped in the bean than with darker roasts, making blooming unnecessary. This rule of brewing, I think, is based on dark roasts and not really applicable for light roasts. So therefore, I don't really think about blooming when brewing my coffee. The other problem with blooming is that most of the extraction happens right at the start of the brew. This is when a lot of great flavors are released that you want in your coffee. Therefore, I now argue that you should pour a lot of water quickly in the first pour to make sure you get a more uniform extraction and therefore more balance. This also means that if you have very fresh coffee or darkly roasted coffee, instead of blooming it, I would recommend grinding it some time before brewing. This should allow any CO2 to escape. I did some casual testing on this theory. First, I tried with a 2x bloom, as in 2 times the weight of the dry dose, and this in my opinion did not work, both with swirl and without. Resulting brew was just a bit dull and lacking all aftertaste. Second, with a 3x bloom. This was already a lot better. Much better complexity and balance with more pronounced sweetness. Then came the 4x bloom, which isn't really a bloom with this much water. This was delicious. Sweet, balanced, complex with a very pleasant aftertaste. After that, the results were somewhat diminishing. I couldn't taste any very noticeable improvements with bigger first pours, but definitely a bump in sweetness, jumping to a 100 gram first pour. I also tested swirling and stirring the first pour. In a V60, the bed is quite deep, so if you're not pouring a lot of water, you should swirl or stir to ensure all the grounds are saturated. But if you pour quickly and with enough water, you don't have to stir or swirl, as you can easily saturate all of the grounds evenly. In conclusion, don't bloom. Just pour a lot of water quickly in the start of your brew to get the best possible extraction and balance. Of course, I would recommend you go out and do your own testing to see what you prefer. That was all for today. Thank you for watching.